Carl, we have to stop meeting this way. We're here again in Chatham with you.
Good to see you again.
How have you been?
Old and decrepit, but I'm here.
But you're here.
Loving it, having a great time.
And the weather's beautiful today.
Yep.
Beautiful plane. Every year you surprise me. This is another troop carrier that we're dealing with. What's this plane called?
This is called a Fairchild C119c flying boxcar. It was built in the late 40s and early 50s. It was used in the Korean conflict all the way through the Vietnam War, and many of them went to reserve units later on in their lifespan. They were pretty capable of hauling fairly substantial loads, up to 60 troops, small howitzers and that kind of thing. Nothing as big as a tank. But fairly good sized, good load carrying capability with it.
What are the unique features about the plane?
The retracts were built by a good friend of mine, Bob Walker from Robart, and they have been working wonderfully well, and I appreciate his help on these projects. It does have JATO assist, that is jet assisted takeoff.
You actually put a little bit of more detail into this as well. You have the back doors that open.
Actually, the season is so short in Wisconsin, I haven't really had the time to design some paratroopers to drop out, or a Jeep and parachute that out.
Will that be coming with this model?
I hope that by next year I'll have.
You definitely have the room. I mean, you know, this being a very wide body. How is it to fly this one?
Actually, very nice. That is, unless you have an engine out. Then you'll end up going to the crash site with the good engine.
With the good engine.
Yeah, but now, it does fly very well.
Now the egg shape on it, does that really help, or is it more the wingspan than the double tail wings?
No, the plane itself is reasonably aerodynamic. It handles very, very well. The problem is the original one was quite underpowered, and when you had an engine out with that plane, you better find a place to land because it couldn't maintain altitude on one single engine.
Is that because of the weight of the plane?
The weight, sure, the weight and the size.
Did you go to, knowing that with the real plane, did you go to a little stronger engine with this one as well?
No.
No?
No, I like the idea of underpowering planes. I think many of our models today are way, way too fast to simulate the reality. When I was a kid going to an air show, I loved to watch planes coming over slowly and majestically.
You want to see the detail.
So I try to do that a little bit, and yes, it's nice to have the power, but this had such a narrow cowl shape that there were only a few engines, twin-cylinder engines, that would fit in this.
But it's beautiful. You've come up with you're sticking to the same paint scheme. Why always the same paint scheme? Why are we? Is this an official paint scheme for this type of plane, or is it just? This is a Carl original, and this is the style that I want to try to keep?
No, actually, it is a paint scheme of a 119 that was in Japan, then went to Korea, and then later got sold to the French for Vietnam.
Oh, okay.
So the paint scheme is fairly scaled.
Fairly scaled to that side.
Oh yeah.
Why was it? Do you know the history about it? Why was it always like? Why didn't they paint the plane? Or was there painted versions completely painted in camouflage with this?
You know, I'm sure there was, and later on for the Vietnam War, they camouflaged them so much that they couldn't find them.
Wow.
No, that's a joke.
Well, Carl, once again, thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're
welcome.
Great
landing today, by the way, too. So we saw the plane just touched down.
Yeah.
What a great landing.
Cheated death again.
Cheated death again. Well, that's it for this week's episode of RC TV. On next week's episode, we're going to be going to a heli event in Markham. And also, we have a really cool build for a scale tugboat out in BC. Also, we're heading back out to Winnipeg to see some off-road racing. And a builder from Bimbo. He's the guru of Bimbo. Check out next week so you'll see what I'm talking about. Take care, folks.
RCTV, your radio-controlled authority, has been brought to you in part by Eliminator RC, your one-stop hobby shop. RC Pit Stop, bringing the best of RC to BC. And John's Hobbies, Toronto's local hobby store.